I'm trying something out that I've seen other people do who I'd like to be like. So this is interesting. This is my favorite deck to read with right now. It's called the Intuitive Tarot by Scylla Conway. I don't imagine that it's Scylla Conway, and I don't think that it's Killer Conway. I don't know though. Please respect me. Not respect me, forgive me. Because I probably should have done the research on how to pronounce it before doing this. I'm really doing this very, surprise. So, I don't even know where to start. I'm just doing this on a whim, doing it because it's something that I've always loved watching other readers do, and I want to wear it on for size and see. I haven't gotten to note how nerve-wracking this is to do, to read live on the spot like this. Even though no one's watching, it's still very, it's like the people who I watch do this, they have like hundreds of people watching at a time. I can't imagine if I had hundreds, but this is where it starts, right? So, Knight of Cups. I actually want to start off by just intuitively finding things to catch, whatever falls. So the Knight of Cups speaks to somebody who is still getting to know their emotions, but isn't really able to express them. They themselves are a very emotional person. I guess they're like, they're getting to know their emotions. They're looking at their cup. They're curious about themselves, but there's still a lot of things to know. I can't quite decide whether or not this person's actually interested in getting to know more of themselves, or if the way that they feel, if what they've processed emotionally, if that's how far it goes for them. And then the next card that fell is the Three of Cups, I beg your pardon, in reverse, which, if I'm not mistaken, speaks of betrayal. And the moon. And we do have I think, full moon coming up. Today's the 3rd of Jan. There's a full moon coming up a little under 2 weeks from now. So all of this to say that, I don't know, I'm getting that somebody might experience some kind of friendship, not really betrayal, but like friction over the incoming full moon, that may have to do with people needing to feel things out, so that the solution would be to openly express yourself, feel your feelings. If you feel like you need to cry, you really should. It may be difficult to feel vulnerable with this friend who you may end up having tension with, but if you can push past that barrier of vulnerability, whatever it is that keeps you from feeling all the way, whatever it is that may keep you from crying, I'm getting this sense that I'm reading for someone who doesn't like to cry. Yeah, this should push you. Also, my readings aren't time specific, so whenever you read this, be ready to cry with a friend, basically. So I'm going to start reading the Three of Cups in reverse, because I think reverse energy gets more attention from me personally as a reader. So the explanation says ulterior motives or hidden agendas within a friendship, which will cause problems. Disillusionment, being let down or letting someone else down by a lack of honesty. False friends. So yeah, can't emphasize enough how important it is for whenever it is that you're watching this video to work on being emotionally expressive. This reading is probably for me also, because that's how reading tarot works. And if you are like me, then yeah, we're in for a show. and we've still got a lot of work to do. Consider how a lack of intimacy with yourself is what will stop you from being able to be intimate with others, and how if you want to be more intimate with life and even more joyful, you're going to have to put in the work to actually bond with life. We may have such a fear of things going wrong that we don't even try to make room for things going right. And that means being intimate enough with life to trust that things will work out, and let go and let things work out. So, yeah. Sorry to be this girl, but if you're part of any friendship fallouts, it's probably gonna be your fault. Oh, it feels so direct, but I'm also definitely talking to myself in the sense that if we don't do the work of being vulnerable and being open, and stop trying to hold things together, stop trying to be someone who has their shit together. You don't always have to have shit together. It stops you from being real, and that realness stops people from getting to know you. And how can you have even a crumb of the intimate life you want if you don't let people get to know the real you? You have to crumble, you have to fall, you have to be around people when you're not in a good mood. You have to be willing to share space with people when you're not in a good mood, especially the type of person who internalizes and isolates when you think you're saving people, but you're not. If anything, you're just hurting yourself. It's not useful. If you're someone who isolates when you're depressed, stop doing that. Find another way. Be with your friends. Make plans to see people. Happiness is a choice. It's not something that is given to you. I don't think it's the thing that you can pray for. It's not going to fall into your lap. It's you have to meet it halfway, because the happiness involves your inner light. It involves the work to recognize that and be able to call on it, which is part of the privilege of being alive. You're not just here to exist and fly around. You're here to choose and live out that choice and let it happen. Yeah, I'm actually really enjoying just pulling the cards up like this. I'm just leaving them on the table and pulling them up. They're all like really speaking on the energy that's coming, which is that we have a lot of internal work to do. And it's really difficult because I keep thinking that the work is done, or that like, I don't know, or that there'll be a level that happens where I'll just be on the other side. Like I can just, I don't know, but none of that is happening, and I'm realizing every day that it's a choice, and a lot of like work, and a lot of like keeping your eyes really aggressively focused on the light, and like knowing myself and being willing to know everything and not run away from anything. And yeah, like I said, lots of crying, still lots of crying to do, but it's all it's all divine, it's all divinely timed, and it's all for our benefit. That's the world and the chariot. So all will be well. It's just that we're in for quite something over the next 12 days. Not to be scared. I say this in every single reading that I give, that none of these blunt heads ups that I give are things to fear. There's always going to be something about life, and there's nothing to be scared of ever, because it's not like any of this is. It's not like you're. I don't know how to explain it. You're not a movie that you can't control. If you can tap into that as a reality, as like a deep knowing that you're never the victim of anything that happens in your life ever, like literally ever. You're never a victim. If you could tap into the frequency where you know that it's impossible to be the victim because of how this is all a projection of your inexperience. If you get into the loving part of that perception, nothing is scary. Everything is hints as to what's necessary for your soul to evolve and what the next chapter could be for your life, which ends up being a really exciting thing, more than it is something to fear. I hope that whoever watches this enjoys it. And if you can leave a comment on how I can improve, how I can help you, remembering that I'm also with you in all of this. Like I said, I basically just gave myself a reading, basically. And if there's any way that I can bridge the gap between you and I'm always open to it, with healthy, loving boundaries, of course, because I'm trying for secure attachment and I want to be securely attached to this thing that I'm starting. So, yeah. Thank you.